Hey you guys, how you doing? This is Dr. Phil Sledz coming at you live from Austin, Texas. And today we're going to talk about collagen. It's my honor to be here today. Just a little bit about this group. This group that I'm in right now has a lot of synergy. We've got a lot of information. We've got a lot of great resources for you to share. So while people are jumping on, I just wanted to throw some of that information out to you guys. If you haven't seen some of the other videos that some of the people in this group have done, be sure to check those out because there's some great information in there that can help you out a lot. I want to give some accolades and kudos to Dr. Sherry for a great video. I want to give some kudos to Suzette. She did a great job touching on a lot of information. David's been a tremendous resource and leader for this group, putting a lot of it together. And what we want to do is we want to share that information. That's the purpose of this group. And if someone invited you to this group, I want you to thank them. So reach out, thank them for inviting you. Like I said, this has been a life-saving product for myself, for my practice, and I just can't say enough about it. So I'm really excited to be here and share this with you. In the group, just something to keep in mind also, there are a lot of people in here that have a tremendous amount of knowledge aside from the health practitioners. We have a lot of health practitioners in this group that can talk about this product, but we have also people that I know that are PhDs, some are chemists, we have people who are realtors, we have people of all different backgrounds, and a lot of these people have been on this product even longer than I have. And they can speak as competently and as confidently about this product as a lot of health practitioners can because they've been around it for such a long time. All right. So let's get started. Dr. Phil Sledz, that's my name. I'm down here in Austin, Texas, and I've been in functional medicine now for about 11 years. Before that, I've been in nutrition for about 18 years, and before that, just a little bit about me, I was a F-18 fighter pilot in the Marine Corps, and I did that for 10 years. Then I was forced out due to some severe joint discomfort that I had. Basically all over my body, and I served for 20 years though. After those 10 years of service, I segged very nicely into Southwest Airlines, where I work also a couple days a week. So right now I practice a couple days a week in my office, usually on the earlier days of the week, and then the later days of the week I'm out flying, so my office is up in the sky. So it's kind of nice. So I get to see both worlds. I get to talk to a lot of people about what they have going on with their health, and I get to garnish a lot of experience from all that too. My story with the product, like I said, kind of goes back to having some severe joint discomfort issues. It was something that really took me out in a big way. Going back to those times, I did everything I could to really help myself in the Western allopathic model. And then in the, I say natural methods that we use in chiropractic, naturopathic methods, I use as many of those as well to try to help myself too. And they got me to a good point, but they didn't give me what I was really looking at, a good resolution with a lot of those issues. So this product has been a tremendous breakthrough for that and really giving me and other people that I help a lot of their life back, which is interesting because that's actually the name of one of the products, the Life Blend. So I'm going to talk to you about all these products. I put a little bit of an itinerary up there so you can see some of the things that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about the uniqueness of this product, what makes it stand alone and stand out from other products. We're going to talk about some of the things that pertain to, sorry about that. There you guys can see that up there. There's a lot of questions going out there about connective tissue, so we're going to talk about connective tissue too. That's really important because people ask, what is connective tissue? Can we help it? Is this product going to do good things for connective tissue? So we're going to touch on that. We're going to talk also about the types of collagen that products are having. So nowadays we're seeing more products pop up with different types of collagen. And so we want to talk about products that say they contain certain types of collagen versus products that can elevate types of collagen. So that's a big distinction that we want to make. We're going to touch on that, okay? We're going to talk about vegan collagen and collagen support. That's really important too because today we're starting to see more vegan collagen products pop up. and we want to know, what's the difference? What are they saying? What's in there? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk then, of course, about the big elephant in the room right now, which is immunity. One thing we are in unprecedented times, guys, where we have so much going on. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. I like to track a lot of my information from Harvard EDU, so the Harvard Medical School. Great place for information, great place for resources. And they do a lot of the tracking with what's going on right now through the CDC and Johns Hopkins. They put a lot of information together. And they have on their website, one of the doctors that's assigned to that, Dr. Schmerling, to report what's going on, to give you some certainty. They have it right now that the survivability rate is 99%. So that's and what they're saying also, in addition to that, is expected to go higher. So that's really important to know. I think we need to throw that out there and honor that's what they're looking at, and that's what they're gathering from all the data out there through Johns Hopkins and the CDC. So it's important that we hear that. And one of the things that reminds me of in functional medicine too is that the difference between a healthy person and a person who maybe doesn't have as much health is a highly functioning immune system. That's the big difference. So that brings us to that last point there. We're going to talk about immunity. And we're going to talk about the unique immune enhancing properties of these products and how they can help out. Okay. All right. So about the uniqueness of this product, Suzette hit it on the head when she was talking about it. Dr. Sherry talked about it. But it has to do with the size. The size makes the difference. The size leads to the patents. By the way, I keep checking all the different collagen types out there. And to date, I still haven't found a collagen that has any patents out there. So ours has seven US and international patents, which speaks volumes. And the patents go back to the clinical trials, and it goes back to the absorption and the size of the molecule. So in pharmacology, when we have something that's really small, what that means is that it can go further and faster and deeper into the body and get to more tissues. So that's really important because we want to be able to reach things very quickly. And that will take you into, you'll have greater results with that, but you'll get results even more quickly. So that's what we have. And when we're talking about shrinking collagen, we're not just talking about 30% or 10% or 50%. We're talking about 150 to 200 times smaller. All right, and so that was the big issue around collagen, is because if we didn't have that, what we had to do previously was we had to inject it. But when you inject it, one of the big problems is it only works at the injection site, and those injections can be painful, they can be costly, and then the other challenge with that is that they're temporary. So you got to go, when you get an injection, then you got to go back and you got to keep going back. But then, well, like I said, when it only works at the injection site, what about all the other areas in the body, like maybe you're thinking about the underarms, a lot of ladies are thinking about, behind the thighs, behind the legs, areas like that, and then all the areas in our joints. We want to go beyond the skin, and that's what this product can do. All right, one other thing too that's unique about this collagen that I have to point out is the HA. So the HA molecule in there really enhances the ability of the collagen to work, and no other collagen has HA in it. Okay, and then the HA also has to be shrunk. It has to be made smaller in order to absorb. So all the ingredients, this company got it right because they're very large, is that they have to be shrunk in order to pass through the digestive tract. So again, going back to that further, faster, smaller, when you have a smaller size, you get it further, deeper out into the body so it can work more quickly. That's what this product has. Now, one of the things with the HA that they found in the studies is that after 28 days, they were able to elevate the HA in the body 28 days by 60-fold or 6,000%. Now, that was the low end. The high end was around 90-fold or 9,000%. So those are just incredible levels that you can elevate it to, basically kind of like when you're in your 20s or 30s. And so that's what gives it this amplified effect that you get from this collagen compared to other collagens out there. Let's shift gears just a little bit and let's just talk about connective tissue. So a lot of questions I'm hearing in the group are around connective tissue. Does connective tissue, first of all, can it help it? Okay, and the answer is yes, absolutely. It can help it. If it has anything to do with connective tissue, yes, you want to put someone on it. It's going to help out a lot. And I use this actually with as many patients who are open as a foundational product in any protocol that I can, because what I find doing functional medicine lab tests, and by the way, if you've never heard of functional medicine, what we do is I like to use lab tests and look at what's going on in the metabolism and see what people are doing with their diet and their supplementation routines and how their health is based on what they're telling me and then what we're seeing on the lab. All right, so when you have people coming in with all these different things going on, I found that I can cut back on a lot of other supplements when I use these products as kind of a base foundation for them in their protocol. It's really remarkable. And we see a lot of inflammation scores come down, and that's important, especially for building a healthy immune system. You got to have that. But more importantly, for helping your body, support your body, I should say, in having healthy skin, having healthy joints, having healthy energy in the body. All those things you need to have inflammation levels come down in the body. So back to the connective tissue point. The point is, if someone has any kind of connective tissue issue, then yes, you want to put them on this product. And what is connective tissue? Connective tissue is they're your tendons, they're your ligaments, they're your bursa. So if you've heard of bursa, they're little sacs. They're filled with fluid, and actually the HA holds a lot of the fluid in those sacs and helps lubricate that. So any bursa, discs are very important. That's connective tissue too. You got discs in your jaw. You got discs right here where your collarbone connects to your sternum. You got discs in your knee. And then of course the big one, which is my favorite, which is fascia. And fascia is a network, like Suzette pointed out. It goes around all your muscle tissue. It goes around your bone. It goes around, it wraps around literally everything in your body, including your glands, your organs. It holds you together. And what we're finding out about fascia too in the latest research, which this product helps supports, is that fascia is a communication network too. So you're supporting this healthy communication network that stores information based on if you got injured or not. Because what we're learning now about injuries is that, I don't know if you've ever seen people, or maybe you've looked at yourself, maybe you got injured somewhere. I know, let's just use an example. I have a football player, and he was a lineman. He kept colliding with guys in the line. They kept hitting his shoulders. And you come in and you look at him, and he's got like a high shoulder. And so as a chiropractor, we want to adjust that. We want to work on the muscle imbalance. We want to work on all those things. But what they're showing now more and more is that the fascia is actually kind of the memory system that holds this information or these injuries in the body. So we want to make sure that we support that tissue very thoroughly, and this product does it better than any other, hands down. It really does. Okay, moving on to vegan collagen and collagen support. So what I want to say about that is I've been looking at a lot of vegan collagen products. So the big distinction that we want to make with that is that you can't, first of all, I'm not knocking any of these products, okay? Any product that's out there trying to do the right thing, I applaud that and I appreciate that, because there's a lot of products out there. There's good integrity behind some of these products. They're trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, some of the things that they're saying, they don't really sync up with what they have in the product, and that's important. So everything I've looked at around vegan collagen or collagen products, so vegan collagen first, you can't elevate the body's collagen levels by taking a vegan collagen product. Everything in there, unless it has actual collagen in it in an absorbable form, you can't elevate it in the body. And that's an important distinction to make. You can support it, and a lot of these products that are vegan collagen have vitamin C, they've got antioxidants, they maybe include other things like amino acids, and those are all helpful and beneficial to your body, and you can get nutrition from that. But if you really want to take it to the next level in your health and get your body to where you can support the highest level of skin health, you can support the highest level of joint health, then you really need to get that collagen in there. And I have a tremendous respect for people who are doing the vegan thing as well as vegetarians, but in order to get that benefit, you really need to get that collagen in you, and that will take it up there so you can address your hair, your skin, your nails, the vitreous humor of your eyes, the gums, and all that, to really get the support that you want, the results that you want. And collagen support is kind of the same way. So collagen support is antioxidants mainly, or amino acids. And look, before this product came around, I was taking a lot of those things when I had a lot of severe joint discomfort issues. And I wasn't able to get it, my body to heal. I wasn't able to get my body up to the point where I was really feeling like my old self, because when I had these issues going on, there was a lot of things I couldn't do. I couldn't walk very far. I couldn't run very far. I certainly couldn't ski. I couldn't do a lot of things I can do today. And I was taking a lot of those things, and they were from really good quality companies. So this product, once again, when you have collagen support versus having something that can actually put collagen in you, you're going to get a very big difference in that as far as how you feel. All right. All right, let's talk just a little bit about having collagen types. So one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of too, that people, when they come into my office, when they're sharing information about different collagen products, are products that contain types of collagen types of collagen versus can it elevate collagen in your body. So that's an important distinction to make. So just because a product has a collagen type in there, it doesn't mean that it can necessarily elevate it. So that's important, because right now I had someone bring into my office, I think the body is up to, there's about 16, maybe more types of collagen that they've discovered. But the important thing to remember is that types 1, types 2, and types 3 make up 90% of your body's collagen. So don't you want the 90% solution? I think that makes sense. And so there was one product I remember a patient brought in that had types 1, 2, I think types 5, and types 10. And again, going back, I looked at the ingredients. That's nice that they put those all in there. However, is it going to elevate that in the body? That's what I really want to know. And again, the elevation goes back to source. So that's just one thing I want to talk about right now. David just did a video, and it was really good. He talked about sources of collagen. And he said a lot of the types 1 and 2 out there, and sometimes the 3, come from these cheaper sources of collagen, like hooves and hides of cows and pigs. So they're kind of the leftovers of the animal, because the food industry as a whole, they want to get as much money from using an animal as possible. So it drives up the profits, drives down the cost. So from our collagen, we actually get it from the sternum of chickens. It's very unique. It has the HA in there. But when you get these other sources of collagen, they're not fully compatible with how the human collagen is or looks, or how it breaks down. So you don't get the same effect. It's like the body looks at that and goes, well, I can't really use that. And then the other thing, of course, is the size and getting it to break down. So that's really important, is breaking it down to a size that your body can actually use. But those collagen types, it doesn't correlate. So if you have many different collagen types, that doesn't guarantee that it's going to elevate it in there. And the nice thing about our product, the wonderful thing about this product, is that it is proven to elevate types 1, types 2, and types 3 in the body. And again, we can support that with the science. So if you can elevate types 1, types 2, and types 3, that covers 90% of your collagen. And we'll see where that takes us. But right now, that covers most of your body right now. Okay, talking about immunity. So we've got a lot going on in the news around immune system talk, as far as with the virus and everything. And what I touched on earlier was a little bit about what was shared from Harvard and harvard.edu about our current situation. So they're talking about 99% survival rate. And we talked about the big difference between what a healthy person versus a person with less health has. They have a higher or a more highly functioning immune system. And what really lends to that, in my mind, and from the research I've seen and the things that I use clinically, are antioxidants. I think that's really important. You got to have antioxidants. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about when we say boosting immunity, which these products have immune boosting properties in them, what that means. And then we also want to talk a little bit about antioxidants. So when we say boosting immunity, what does that mean? So when you boost immunity, you want two things to happen. One is you want to increase the size of your immune cells. And number two is you want to increase the activity level of your immune cells. So you want those two things to happen, boosting the size and boosting the activity. And you can actually measure this. There's tests that are measuring it. I use some tests that are kind of unique. They're a little bit different than your traditional lab chemistry, the metabolic panels that most physicians are using. In our functional medicine community, though, a lot of doctors are using these tests, and they're really unique because they're more sensitive and more specific to detect things before they become a really big problem in the body. But going back to the immune system, so those two things have to happen. A little bit about antioxidants. Antioxidants are very unique, and when I was going through, it was last week, I think I went through every single antioxidant on all of our three main products. So the Life, that's the Sport, that's the Skin, and there was not just one, not just two, not just three, but there was easily 4 or more peer-reviewed quality studies on every single antioxidant that was used in these products actually, on the National Institute of Health.gov website. So there was, what I'm saying is there's a lot of careful thought that was put into these products as far as getting the right ingredients in there that would help work with your body in a myriad of ways. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about these products and how they help you, and they're very foundational. So when I get people on these, I can actually decrease a lot of other things that they're on. One of the things I can decrease them on also is MSM. So if you're taking MSM to help support your joints, this has a little bit of it in there. It also has some silica, so that's important to know from our collagen. These are things that are very unique that you just can't find anywhere else. So I just want to touch on, so antioxidants, let's go back to that really quickly. So antioxidants, what do they do in the body? They take the bullet so your tissues don't have to. So they're protecting you, they protect you. So that's one function that antioxidant does. They also contain nutrients that help boost and direct your immune system in a lot of ways. So when I took a lot of these antioxidants and I started looking them up and seeing what they would do over the years, but then as a refresher too, I wanted to go back and just see what they were doing. I wanted to see how they affected your body's production of antibodies, what it did to the immune cells, and it's all very unique. And one of the things that the antioxidants do is they help really kind of boost, one of the types of cells in there is these T regulatory cells, or they call them, T-reg cells is what we call them. But they're like, in the aviation world, if I would use an analogy, they're kind of like control towers. They kind of direct traffic that's coming in and out of an airport, but in your body, it's your immune system. So it tells your immune system kind of where to go. It's like a quarterback sitting on your team. It's going to direct the traffic, kind of call the plays and see what's going on and what's not. So that's another very important function of antioxidants. Now, going into the blends that I like to use all three, but I like to use Life Blend as a staple. So that's kind of the thing I make sure I'm on every single day, but I do use the others. The Life Blend, now, I'm not going to go into every single antioxidant that we have, but what I want to talk about was some key antioxidants that I really, really like. So in the Life Blend, my favorite one is the Resveratrol. Okay, David just did a video on it. He was talking a little bit about the Resveratrol, but the Resveratrol content in the Life Blend is so high that you get more in 1 tablespoon than you do from 2 bottles of red wine. That's how concentrated it is. And it's such a powerful antioxidant in the body that it actually activates a gene called the SIRT1 gene. SIRT spelled like shirt, but without the H. So the SIRT1 gene is actually responsible for longevity, healthy living, healthy aging, and in addition to that, it also helps support good cardiovascular health in the body. So that's really important because I get a lot of people that are maybe they have things that were going on with they want cardiovascular support, in their body. So let's just talk about that for a second. Inflammation markers. Okay, this is really important. This is a really good takeaway because Suzette talked about this. She was talking about some of the laboratory inflammation markers that this product was shown to decrease. One of them being C-reactive protein. And I like to test that. And I know with the things that I have in my office and I use this product, that's one thing. If I see high C-reactive protein, which is an inflammation marker in the body, it's a little protein that goes up when you have inflammatory scores get really high. This product really helps out tremendously with that. There's another fraction of it that I like to look at, which is the high sensitivity C-reactive protein. So it also helps with that fraction, which is more specific for your cardiovascular system. The other thing that I like to measure on my lab test is something called ESR. And ESR stands for erythrocyte sedimentation rate. And all that means, erythrocyte, it's a big word. I promise you I'm a Marine. I'm going to keep the small words to a minimum. But erythrocytes are just red blood cells. They're the red cells, or the cells that make your blood red. They're everywhere. They're in a high abundance. But the ESR value is important because what it does is when that goes up, it shows that your blood is actually clumping or clotting or clumping together too quickly. And it does that because there's debris in the blood that's not supposed to be there, mainly undigested sugars, fats, and proteins. Those are the big things that contribute to the ESR going up. Excuse me, we have a name for those. We call them immune complexes in our world. But this is something that resveratrol goes in and really hits hard to help support healthy blood levels. So if you see people wearing those compression socks, or you know people who have clotting issues, right? You know, they're probably taking thinners, things like that. This helps support healthy blood viscosity. Okay, another big word, I'm going to back up. Viscosity just means resistance to flow. I promise you I'm going to keep this simple. Resistance to flow. So when you have high viscosity, that's like motor oil. That's really thick. Think of a milkshake. You know, you pour it over and it's just going to barely kind of pour out. Low viscosity is like water, something that's really fluid that can just, you know, zip through when you pour it, it's just going to pour out really easily. That's really important to have lower viscosity blood because when it goes out to your extremities and the real small blood vessels of your hand, your feet, and so forth, and your brain, it needs to flow. It needs to keep going in there. You can't have it stop. You can't have it clot. You can't have it back up. And resveratrol is super at helping support normal levels of viscosity. Now, on the other hand, if you are not clotting, that's a different problem. So that's a vitamin deficiency, vitamin K, vitamin C, and vitamin A. So those are things that's kind of a different issue. So those activate what's called clotting factors. So I just want to talk about this. So when it comes to inflammation, going back to the point, when it comes to inflammation, that resveratrol and the other things in there really hit that hard, and it really works well. All right, so that was about the Life Blend. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Sport Blend really quickly. Okay, that's another favorite of mine. Oh, and by the way, all of these antioxidants, if I didn't say it, I'll say it again. All these antioxidants are very integral in helping support an immune system, not just the resveratrol, lots of things that help support the immune system from resveratrol, but all the other antioxidants in that Life Blend product, okay? So I'm not just singling out one product and saying, hey, this really helps support the immune system and these others don't. That's not what I'm saying. All right, so they all do a lot of wonderful things. That's what I'm saying here. When it comes to the Sport Blend, there's a lot of other good antioxidants in there I love, coming from tart cherry, some of the other ingredients, but two that I really want to hit on right now are the rhodiola and, where was it? Rhodiola, come on, man. Here it is, where it is. Rhodiola and astragalus, there it is. Couldn't find it. Okay, the astragalus and rhodiola. So those antioxidants are very unique, and they have a ton of research behind them as far as supporting the immune system. One thing that they also do is they have what's called an adaptogenic effect in the body. So adaptogens, another big word, we're going to define it right now, make it simple, have the word adapt in it. So what adaptogens do is they actually help your body resist stress. And that's very important because do you know anyone that's not under stress today? And the main three sources of stress, or how we experience stress, are from chemical stress, physical stress, emotional stress. Emotional stress is easy. That's like, you know, we have relationship issues. You find out your mom's ill, it stresses you out. That's emotional stress. Chemical stress, that's from our diet. Now, for those of you that are new to this group and you're just hearing about collagen, a lot of us that use this product also specialize in clean living. So chemical stress is something that can actually raise your cortisol levels and increase stress. So if someone invited you in here and you're trying the collagen and you like it, then feel free to reach out and ask about, hey, what are these other ways I can decrease stress in my world by adding non-toxic, safe, clean products, because that's important. And then the last one, we talked about chemical stress, Physical stress, that would be like you fall down, you break a bone, you just had surgery, things like that. That would be physical stress. So all those things elevate cortisol and create this stress state, this kind of fight or flight. So these adaptogens, they help you manage that on a chemical level and give you nutrients that help your body adjust and kind of resist that really spike in your body where you feel the adrenaline going through your body and you get really stressed out. So that's how they really work. I love those. Again, not selling short any of the other antioxidants in the Sport Blend, but that was a Sport Blend. The other thing I'll mention about the Sport Blend too is that was a favorite with some of our pro and Olympic athletes. Maureen Shea, David is a friend with Maureen Shea. She's a professional female boxer who is actually dubbed the real $1 Million Baby, and she had some crippling injuries a long time ago, and this product gave her life back, and now she's winning more belts, and she's always in the news. We have snowboarders, Jamie Osborne, gold medalist, who is using this product, just getting some fantastic results. We had Willie Harper. He's an NFL San Francisco 49 lineman. He lives on this stuff too. So for all the same reasons, because it gives you your life back. All right, skin. Skin is something I take regularly as well. And with that, there's two antioxidants, because we're kind of talking about immunity. We want to talk about how this affects the body's immune system. Two of my favorite antioxidants in there would be the grapeseed extract. That's a huge favorite of mine. And then the other one is the green tea. So the green tea and the grapeseed extract have some unique effects on the body in that they help reduce the skin wrinkles. That's one of the things. So you're getting that with the collagen and the HA anyways. And oh, by the way, the collagen and HA in all these products, the Sport, the Skin, the Life, and the Pure, it's the same amount. You're getting the same amount in all these products. So that's important to remember. It's only the juice blend that's different, and it gives it a different synergy. So going back to that, so you have the grapeseed extract, you have the green tea, minimizing the wrinkles. There's something else in there too, that's the bamboo extract. That is huge. That's I want to say it's new as far as them doing studies on it, but it really produces some good results with hair. And what I'll tell you also about the hair, because supporting healthy hair growth, right? That's what we're doing with this, is we're supporting healthy hair growth when you're talking about hair. But collagen's integral because it helps support the follicular cup, which holds your hair in place, and then it feeds the strand directly. So it's sending nutrients up into the strand to help support healthy hair. And you want that. The bamboo adds an extra effect to helping kind of toughen and hold things together in your body. And it also helps toughen your joints. Now, one thing I want to, when I say toughen the joints, here's what I'm talking about. If you guys know people who have hypermobile joints, like they're super flexible, they can, bring their arm behind their back and do all these weird kind of contortion positions, that would be someone with hypermobile joints. These products all together are very good for that, and they can actually help strengthen the connective tissue in the joints and kind of bring it in a little bit better, because sometimes people who are really mobile, if you ever talk to some of the contortionists or gymnasts, they can have a lot of joint discomfort issues. So this really helps support that, and that's really good to know. The bamboo in there helps add an additional layer of sort of toughener to the product and helping your joints have a little bit more, stiffness to them. So stiffness in a good way. It keeps the tissue together, not decreases or minimizes range of motion. Just making sure I'm making that distinction. Okay, talk about Pure. So Pure is the last of the four main collagen products. These products that I'm mentioning right now, they actually deliver the highest quantity of collagen that you can in what I think is the best way. So the Pure is the collagen in there. It's got water, it's got a little bit of stevia, but there's no naturally occurring sugars, okay? So this is really good for people. If you know people who are allergic to everything, like they can't have anything because they have upset tummies, they get loose bowel, they have a lot of digestive issues, they have allergic reactions where they get mucousy or rashes. The Pure is designed for that. So it's really just genius. They've got this down to where you can take this, if you give someone the Life, if you give someone the Sport, if you give someone the Skin, and they kind of have a funny reaction, then you can steer them towards the Pure. because the Pure doesn't have those things in it. So that way they can get the collagen too, and it's great. I also use the Pure with diabetics, people who have blood sugar issues. So there's no sugar in that, and sometimes you need to consider that when you're getting someone on these products, at least initially. You want to be careful about their blood sugar levels. Now, granted, the sugars in these products are all naturally occurring, and that's very important to know, because when you have naturally occurring sugars, this can actually help your body manage and use sugar in the body. So just because something comes from, right now today, with all the talk about keto and ketogenic, people can get a little too sugar phobic. But the key thing that you have to remember is that a lot of these sugars contain these super nutrients that not only help your body manage sugar, but some of them actually help you lose weight. They actually facilitate the ketogenic process quicker. That's one of the benefits of resveratrol. There's others, I won't go into them, but that's one of the benefits of these. So just because it's a naturally occurring sugar, this is something we want to have in our body. They have a lot of immune boosting abilities in the body, so that's important too. We want to make sure we get those. The chews, I want to talk just a little bit about the chews, because sometimes people ask me, the chews, should I use them? What are they good for? So the chews are really the original flagship product, which is that Life Blend, and it's been dehydrated. So they make the Life Blend, they dehydrate it, and then they remove all the naturally occurring sugars and they substitute stevia. So again, if you have someone who's diabetic, you can put that on them and you can give that to them, and it's not going to make their blood sugar levels get stressed in any way, at least initially when you're trying to work with someone. So that's really good. And then they get all the extra added benefits of those antioxidants in there, which is super too. So that's one of the reasons that I really like the chews as well. All right, so let's see here. What else? We talked about the immunity. We talked about what that means. We talked about vegan collagen and collagen support. All right, we have people here talking about loving the Pure. Thanks, Suzette. So your comment about the sugars. We don't want to be sugar phobic. Let's get rid of that. We want to make sure we get some sugars in our body. Here's something I want to talk about too. So since we're on the topic of collagen, one of our collagen products here is the trim, okay? And that's one of the things that's very ketogenic friendly too, by the way. The trim contains a high amount of collagen. Now, this is really good because we use this in our weight loss system to support healthy weight, and that's also very big. And the one thing I want to say about the trim product, and this may sound a little bit weird initially, so just hang in there while I'm explaining this, is that when someone comes in and they're asking about weight loss and they see either the trim or the lean products, one of the questions that they might ask me is, hey, I want to get on this. This looks great. I say, okay, do you have a gallbladder? And they're like, wait, what are you asking that for? Well, the reason you want to know that is because this is a high-fat product. It's a good fat that helps your body support fat loss. So it has a high dose of what's called CLA. That's conjugated linoleic acid, and it's a very good fat that actually slows and inhibits the absorption of fat in your body. And it's been studied. We have it in a clinical dose. But again, if you don't have a gallbladder or you have a limited functioning gallbladder, then you're going to have a tough time breaking down the trim and absorbing the trim. So you may not be able to use it that well. And what happens is that when people don't have a gallbladder and they take that, they can get reflux, they can get nausea, they can have loose bowel, things like that. So that's kind of an important consideration. I consider at least when asking someone if they're going to take that, because it's a great collagen product too. So sometimes what people do is they take their trim in the morning, and then they might do a bottle of Life or Sport or Skin at the end, and that way they can get their dose that they want of collagen. As I'm speaking, I'm already remembering other things I wanted to say really quickly. You want to make sure, I agree with Suzette 100% on this, when you're taking the collagen, I try to tell people, hey, give it a 16-week trial. Give it 4 months. Okay, if they're doing it for skin, 4 months. If they're doing it for joints, if you guys are taking this for joints, I try to get people to do it for 5 months or even 6 months. And especially if they have multiple areas of joint discomfort. I try to get them on that product for at least 5 to 6 months because it can take a while. You know, you can't decide when you take something where it's going to go. You can't tell it to go to your elbow. You can't tell it to go to your neck or these other areas where you may want it. Your body decides that for you. That's your innate intelligence. But that's why you need the time, because it's going to go to all these areas, and it's going to all these other areas that you maybe didn't even know or you can't even recall that you had injured. Like maybe you fell down out of a tree when you were 5. Maybe you fell off your bike a gazillion times and you banged up other areas of your body that you don't remember. So it's going to go to all those areas too. Plus it's going to your skin, plus it's going to your hair, plus it's going to your nails. So you really want to be patient with this. Do someone a service. If they experience results in the first month, that is great. That's awesome. But I don't set the expectation so that people expect a result in the first month, and maybe not even month 2. I really say, hey, hang in there for the first 4 months. And if they do have it, then I acknowledge that and say, hey, that's the product working. Great. That's not what I see all the time. That's not the norm maybe, but that's awesome that you're having a result. And away they go. Okay. Let's see here. It's great. I see Julie with a question talking about BioCell using the collagen for horses, dogs, and cats. That's awesome. We have a pet blend, and the pets don't lie. That's the thing about the pets is we've got this ingredient in there, and you don't need a double-blind placebo test to test your pets and see if your pets are experiencing results. They just take whatever you give them happily, and they will. And I've got videos, I've got some testimonials from people who have pets and sharing the information, the results, and how it's improved their coat. But as they've noticed their pet's joint discomfort going away, that's something that you just can't, it's hard to challenge. You can't, I haven't seen another product do that, where you can give it to pets, because there's a lot of other collagen products out there that pets are taking, and you don't get the same results, okay? So we talked about the trial. One thing I make sure I tell my patients too is also to take it about 12 hours apart. That was something that they really harped on us when we were starting off with this product, is taking that tablespoon, making sure it's about 12 hours apart. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be right at 12. It could be 13 hours. It could be 11. It could be 14. But the body has these enzymes that are breaking down the collagen and breaking down your hyaluronic acid. So your goal is to take a little bit every day to outperform your body's, we'll call it, willingness to break it down, because you don't want that. You want to live long. You want to have healthy looking skin. You want to have healthy looking joints. So getting those doses in every day about 12 hours apart is really important, I think. And again, what we stressed on early when we were, all the people who were from the parent company with this product, is we talked about the 90-day trial, but I pushed that out there to 4 months. You can take more. That's another thing that's really important to know, is that we have toxicology studies on this. They tested it on people for, I think, 16 weeks. I have that typed up here, at 30 times the dose with no adverse side effects. I use it on very young patients and friends too, as young as I've used it on people as young as 12 or 14. Of course, we have to mention, because we're trying to preserve the integrity of the product and the company, that when we're using this, always consult your doctor. We have to say that, right? Okay, so have them consult their physician. I've used it though on patients that young to help support wound healing and things like that when it comes to the joints and the skin in very young people. Let's see, what else we're talking about. Let me look at some of these questions. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Okay, so Christine, I want to mention this really quickly, that we can't talk about diseases in the United States. That's something that we're not really allowed to talk about. We're not treating, we're not curing any kind of disease with this product. We're really supporting the body. So if you want to discuss that outside this, I can tell you things I use in my office and things that I do. But really with this product, we're supporting health. So I just want to throw that out there and make that distinction on there. Let's see here. Any other questions? Questions that you guys may have? Okay, here's another thing I want to add really quickly. Lauren has a question. Let's see here. She talks about you can take more. I encourage you to take more if you want to see quicker results right away. That's something that you can do. It's not going to harm you. I did that initially because of all the issues I had going on. So that can actually speed it up. I see people talking about doubling the dose, and I you can double the dose with the sport as well. I've never had a problem with that. I actually can take a lot of that, and I have after workouts. Okay, so just sharing that with you guys. And let's see what else. What else? We talked about immunity. All right, here's something else I want to mention really quickly. Can you take 2 times on the sport is one of the questions. I think so, yes. I think you can double that. I think you can double the dose of any of these. And actually, I've gone as high as tripling and quadrupling some of the doses on some of these products as well. So that's good to keep in mind when you're taking these products. Now, something I want to show you. I know when it comes to guys, ladies, this is easy for you guys because you guys are used to taking skin products all the time. But we have some other really good cosmetic grade collagen skin products that are new too. The Cellproof line. So we just started that. It came around, I think within the last year, maybe a little bit before that, maybe a year and a half ago. But I use this kind of, for a guy, I use this as like an aftershave. This stuff is great because I have really sensitive skin. When I shave, I can almost break out, and I get a lot of dryness, I get a lot of flaking, things like that. So this, when you put it on, it has this mask. It's really cool. And it's like the serum, but it's a little bit thicker. It has a little bit more oils in it, so it feels a little bit heavier when you put it on. And just the other week, I was out skiing with my brother, and we were out there skiing. I mean, we skied the whole day. We were out there from like 9 o'clock until they kicked us off the mountain. And one of the things that happens every year when I go skiing is I get really windburn. And every time I go out there, I wear my goggles, I've got the scarf, I put on a ton of sunblock, I put a ton of lotion on, I put all these things on to really help my skin and create a barrier. And inevitably, when I come in, it just puffs up, it gets bright red. And by the 3rd day, man, I almost would get beat up to the point where it just hurt to touch. So that mask is actually, it saved my keister. This stuff is great. So if you haven't tried it, I know a lot of people that are trying it that get great results right away with it, and they love it. So it's good stuff. Okay, let's see here. Any questions? Let's see. Okay, question. Would you advise not to take trim if your gallbladder has been removed? Yeah, so we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. If you don't have a gallbladder, it's going to be really hard to break down the trim because of the high fat content in there. And if you can't take the trim, you can't take the lean because that's kind of got it in there too. But there's other things that we can put you on in our company. We have some other great products in there. We've got the M3 weight loss system. We can get you on the burn. There's other things we can get that can help support healthy weight in your body without having to take trim if you can't get it on there. Now, if you don't have the gallbladder, you could go very, very low dose. It just depends what's going on in your metabolism. So it's possible you could take the trim, you just have to cut back on the dose, like maybe doing a half a teaspoon, maybe every 3rd day, starting off and just seeing how you tolerate that and just see how it goes. So the dose would definitely be smaller, but there is a possibility you could take it. I try at least not to start someone off, certainly not with the recommended dose because that's pretty high. You gotta really have a good healthy gallbladder for that. And then there's a possibility you could wean them onto that. So there is that possibility. I just want to make sure that I throw that out there. Okay, what else? Okay, what else, which is good for inflammation? So one of the questions asked about that, what's good for inflammation? Hey, all these are because of the antioxidants. Antioxidants really put out the fire in your body. They take the bullet so your body doesn't have to. I like the Resveratrol a lot in the Life, because of the high amount of resveratrol. We talked a little bit about that earlier with those inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and the ESR values and D-dimer, things that measure your blood's inflammation levels. So there are different things on the lab, but I really like that Life blend. Okay, let's see. What else? Let's see, we talked about the different blends. Just want to make sure, guys, that I'm covering things. And thanks so much for showing up. This is awesome. I'm happy to share this information with you guys. I'm very grateful for David and putting this group together. Thank you, David, for having me on here tonight. And I want to thank you guys for showing up. Look, we're going to get through this. I know there's a lot going on in our world, but reach out to the group. There's a lot of things a lot of people are doing in this group to help support a healthy immune system. That's what's important. And like I said, like I stressed earlier, the numbers that we talked about from Harvard, we're moving in the right direction. All right, and we've had far worse challenges in the past before, so we're going to get through this. It's just a matter of time. We might have a couple more dips here or there, but I think we're going to be fine out of this. That's what all the experts are saying, and that's why I want to make sure you guys know, okay? All right, thanks you guys. Have a great evening. Catch you later.